Welcome back to another review and feedback video from myself, Ritho. I grabbed another game from the Drop.SC website. We're going to be having a Terran versus Protoss game today. This is going to be right in the later stages of Diamond 3. Again, I'm grabbing random games for the most part, just trying to get some mix of game matches. Not doing really mirror matchups right this second for the few games that I have queued up. But we have Petrus as the Protoss in red and Marci in the blue. As you can see, the Terran has some supply blocks. We're going to go ahead and take a look at what's going on in this game. It's a very long one, so we will do some speed ups, but it's pretty obvious what's going on. And see how the end of this game is. You can see it's a very large army count and all that kind of stuff. So, but without much ado, sorry, where is my... I definitely have this, I'm sorry. I have it ready to go, and it was hidden behind something else. Sorry guys, that's just so bad of me, right? Like, this is fun. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the replay right away. And we're going to see what things we notice about each player on how they're doing, what they could do better, what they do well. So we're going to go ahead and make it so we can see our stuff. In the upper left-hand corner, we have Petrus in red as Protoss. And in the lower right-hand corner, we have Marci in blue as a Terran. Because this is a longer game, I am going to speed it up occasionally. We're going to keep an eye on what's going on. Both players know each other's races. In this instance, there was no randoms. So you can see that the Protoss is getting ready to wall off the jump up for the Reaper. This makes it so that the Terran does not have the ability to go anywhere with their Reaper except for this space over here, which means they have to go by the natural and the ramp, which is very difficult for the Terran to get in and do some damage to these probes. And then we have a little bit of banter. I don't know what that's all about. The Protoss comes in as showing a normal scout. Anything crazy going on in here. Oh, this is a mistake. First mistake is not getting our orbital and having an extra SCV. Not that bad. They decided to grab another command center out of order. This is something you can do. It is slightly better to get this command center as an orbital first. The reason being is that Mule income is just so strong. Reaper going across the map. Double gate, which means they're going to do some aggression. They're going to grab some Stalkers. They're going to expand behind this, most likely. We saw that it was a very long game, so we know that without doing too much. But from a standpoint... Oh, they attacked their own Cybercore. Oh, no. Oh, goodness. You're going to have to put a bunker down immediately, right now. Like, literally right now. Where's that bunker? Oh, no. Bunker needs to go down. Terran is going to have a hard time here. They're going into 2-1-1. Double Reaper against double Stalker is not the way. You want Marines here. These Stalkers have pretty much impunity. They could literally just jump in here and do their thing. Oh, no. All they had to do was get in. They could have denied this natural. Oh, 4 Stalkers already. You can see that they're just going to take out all of this income. This is so painful. Double Mule gone. Ran it across the map, I guess, wherever they're going with it. Cyclone with 4 Reapers is actually a very dangerous combination of units. Takes it out. 2 Reapers versus 2 Stalkers. These Stalkers should have just killed the Reapers. Goes after the income instead. Not a bad choice, but you can see that the Terran has a lot of money already. They're not really caring. They could just drop another command center, which is what I would do. I would have left all that stuff there. The Protoss on the other side of the map is getting up some shield batteries, protecting themselves from those inevitable Cyclones. Is grabbing an Immortal. This is the perfect response. You saw Cyclones, you know you need to deal with that. And then they grab a Observer because they can imagine what's going to happen behind that as well. The only downside that we have here, this is such a cool idea. I just thought about this. Sorry, this is something I'm thinking about. You have this Cyclone and you have these Reapers. You could totally put a Reaper up here, have your Cyclone right here, kill that pylon and get in, create a path, and then reduce their income there. All right, back to the actual game itself. They clash outside of the Protoss's main. The Protoss actually puts himself in bad position by running out into the middle of the map. The Reapers and stuff could have come across and come through, but does have a good army under production on the backside. An Observer comes out with the army. there is a Colossus on the way, so this Banshee's actually going to get some work done if they don't recall. Looks like they're going to come on in, try and do some damage. Hurting the income, yet again, is a great choice. Oh my goodness, doing a block off. Ooh, so nice, getting all those workers. The Terran is in so much trouble right now. Oh god, that hurts. Gotta make sure you pull your probes back. Make sure you have your... Oh no. Oh no, my... Not bad. Not terrible. Like, that could have been so much worse. But all the damage that you just had done is completely negated. Because that one Banshee got 13 kills. That was 13 workers. On the backside, the Terran is building a whole army on the able to deal with this. Good job having an observer with both parts of the army. Oop, double tank. Don't fight into that. Just run away. Not worth the fight. You're going to lose everything there. You don't want that to happen, do you? Loses all the expensive, nice units to have. Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to keep going. But this was a mistake. Fighting 2 tanks with that army was not the play. Wait until you have more mortals. Wait until you have a bigger zealot force in front. Stuff like that. Good job producing additional income. Sorry, not income. Production on the backside, making sure you're spending your money. That's a good idea. I would imagine there should be like a Templar archive somewhere in the near future. Neither player really getting supply blocked other than the Terran. They did have a lot of stuff going on. They lost several units that do matter. Interesting, missile turret is going up right underneath the Banshee. Or the Absorber. Ooh, a BC. I did not expect that to come out here. Doesn't even check for this base over here. Very defensive. So this Terran said, oh, my opponent's doing a lot of damage, is being very aggressive. Let me go ahead and make it so I don't lose another base. Let me make sure that I can defend what my opponent sends at me. Downside is we already know that they have robos. So all they have to do is build like 2 or 3 immortals, and you're in all kinds of trouble. Supply block could theoretically be real here. It is not. But that most of the supply blocks that we've seen have been due to the pressure. This being said, the Protoss is not upgrading his composition. There he is. He's waiting for the Templar archives. But we need immortals and or disruptors. The reason being is because we want to kill planetaries, tanks, and immortals. And interesting that those went all the way over here. But the immortals and the Banshee's coming in, taking a peek. Gonna grab all these gas workers. If you combine the timing, you can make it so that you can actually hit the probe with 2, and they can't shield that, protect it. Stalkers are annoying, but they're fine. BC flying around, I love it. Kind of cute. Cannons all over the place, protecting themselves because they saw all of those Banshees. If you do Banshees, don't go BCs. Or if you're going to go BCs, don't go Banshees. I personally have learned this lesson. Oh, we're going to have a fight at the front. Stalkers against a bunch of tanks. Not blinking in. There it is. Got to kill all those tanks immediately. Need them dead. Whew. Nice. 2 BCs. Looks like you're going to have to start getting all that air. So the Terran is in a situation where they have all of these BCs, have Thors, and they are fighting with Colossus, and that's about it. They don't, and Stalkers. The Stalkers fighting the BC is the correct play. Maybe switching over to the weakened Banshee is not a bad choice because you do have the vision. Please focus on the weaker one. They're not going to do that. BC kills that. Oh, tries to get that other BC. Doesn't have the unit count at that point. But focusing down weaker units is better. The Terran is going to go ahead and repair 3 BCs. Whew. More Stalkers. More. You need to transition into some Sky units very quickly. Or you need to build way more Archons. Or build crazy number of Stalkers. So you need to explode your gate count, all that kind of stuff. Oversaturated on your natural. Something to fix. Nothing too crazy. Just take a peek. The pressure's good, but you also need to be able to take these tanks out. You still need immortals. This continued production of Stalkers is not a bad choice. Again, I like the choice, especially since you could see what they have over there. Oh, that was sneaky. I would go in. I personally be like, go in, go in. I know I have all this information. I have so much that those 2 extra BCs, not so much anymore. But up until that point, I absolutely would have gotten myself in there as soon as I could, done as much as I could to make it happen, and therefore make it so you can do the damage. This is where you need your disruptors, immortals. You just need to kill that planetary, be able to take tank for those tanks. Your opponent is obviously being super defensive, so it's time for you to explode. Grab base, grab base, grab base. So that way when they come in and they go ahead and try and kill one of your bases, you have enough that you don't care. You just have so much, you just have so many bases that they can't do anything about it. Good job killing 2 BCs. You can see the BC count is starting to get overwhelming. This is where Void starts to matter. This is great pushback on this command center. You know your opponent's trying to get their 4th, making sure that slows down is good. Again, disruptors, immortals. Oof. Archons. Gotta keep going. Gotta keep building all that stuff. All of your stalkers. You need to make sure that you have enough to deal with this BC count. Otherwise, you are going to lose. Oh my god, it's back and forth, back and forth. Both players doing their best to do damage. The stalker count is just enough. BCs are... That's so scary. Man, this is why you need voids. Once you see BCs, you need to start getting voids. Or you need to be setting up the pressure so hard that your opponent is unable to deal with what you're doing. BC count is down to 2. Oh my goodness. No production on the Zerg, or the Protoss rather. Get those. You lost a whole bunch of workers. You need to get that worker count back up. You need to expand. Behind all this, you are oversaturated again. One of the things that we're going to talk about that I would say needs to be improved. Opponent has 5 BCs producing 7 BCs producing 2 at a time, and you're still on stalkers, and you have only 2 rows, which is 17 stalkers. You need something like 30 stalkers at this point. Zealot run by, but they have planetaries. You can't really do anything about that. Running Colossus into your opponent's BCs is never the play. Again, Disruptor Immortal, if you're going to do that kind of stuff. We have a mothership going down, but we have no additional flying units to help. Voids are definitely the way to fix this. Oh no, let those charge lots do their thing. Yeah, killing tanks. Woo! Back and forth, back and forth. Going Tempest, that's a great choice. I like Tempest against BCs. This is a cool concept. What he's going to do is he's going to fly in here, and he's going to land. He's going to do a warp in. But because he started attacking, BCs flew. And his army wasn't positioned to attack another location. You need to kill out that sensor tower. Make sure his opponent can't see where you're at. A lot of zealots for an all BC army, tank army. I love this. This is such good defense. It's going to take so much for this Protoss to break what this Terran is doing. Terran is trying to capitalize on other bases, getting choke points with so many planetaries, turrets, etc. You're going to see a bunch of turrets and stuff. Nice. DTs. I like it. Fight over here, making it so that it's difficult for them to see what's going on. I like the base take underneath, but that's going to immediately get shut down. You can cancel that. You need to get everything out of there. Another warp into his production. A good choice. This is going to be very dangerous, but it's going to make it so that the BC count is not going to be replenished. Oh my goodness. Destroying all of the income, or all of the production is great. Getting out of there. So now we have a bunch of lift-off. We don't have any production for the Terran at all. He could have started building his tech lab back, but doesn't. So at this point, the Protoss needs to break them versus trying to fight these BCs. Screw the BCs. Take out bases. Knock him down. Make it so that he cannot replenish his production. Yep. Make sure you can't replenish the production. That's it. There you go. But yeah, no, that was a really cool game to watch. The BCs did really, really well. I definitely think that the correct play, I mean, the mothership portal into here and killing all the production was magic. But the correct play is to get those Tempests up, get that air army started, at least more than one Stargate. I would have probably gone 3. And then take the map, which is what you eventually did, right? But you didn't ever like shut down these bases on the peripherals. And while you were doing things, getting immortals would have been the proper choice, in my opinion. All right, let's back it up just a little tiny bit. We're not going to go too far back. The reason, actually, I'm going to go pretty far back, and I'm just going to hit play. I'm going to do regular speed so we have the music going. So, things that I really, really liked about both players' play. Banshee play was cute. Tank production, tanks were great. The positioning and expansion and doing a really good job defending it. This is a great turtle Terran. You did a very, very good job of putting yourself in a situation where you had lots of bases, were protecting your bases that you had, making it very, very difficult for your opponent to do anything, and going into tech that's really, 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 really hard to counter. That being said, you didn't end up doing anything with a lot of your money. You ended up with 8,000 or so resources at the end. I would suggest getting like Hellion play in addition to your tank play. That way you could throw them as a flyby, all that kind of stuff. On the other thing that was done very well from the Terran was being very responsive to things. So like, oh, I see this thing flying in. Let me go ahead and portal on top of it. I don't know why you get any of the bio upgrades when you're not building bio. Sorry, slight deviation from what we were talking about. Other things that I would be looking at is like your production. You're not producing a BC. You have your supply captain said. Use your energy to give yourself more supply. Make sure that you are producing ahead on that. So look for your idle workers, things of that nature. There's a lot of really good things, but there's some things that really needed to improve. The supply block is a big thing that you need to improve on, Blue. Marci. The double armory is awesome, making sure that you have the correct units, building production, but you need to make sure you don't get supply blocked. The other bit would be that idle workers is important, and then making sure that you're active with units that can be and should be active. That being said, good game overall. That was very entertaining. I really enjoyed it. On the other side of the map, as soon as you start seeing your opponent turtle, you see a planetary at their third, you see that they are doing crazy things like all these tanks sitting back and defending, right? You saw the tank here. You saw the tanks over here. Guess what? Either build an army that can snipe and kill the tanks and break a turtling player. That would be specifically Archons and Immortals. Those two units are great for breaking stuff. Or, oh god, this two-prong, I've got to try and make that timing a little bit cleaner on the two-prong. That means the BC walks in at the same time the Banshees do, so they have to make a decision between the two of them or be very on top of it. Sorry, slight little notes. But good regardless. Protoss. If you see your opponent turtling, grab every base you can because they can only do so much. They're not going to have enough of an army to be able to get you. The other thing is make sure that you're selecting your unit composition in a way that makes it so that you're going to be able to fight what they're doing. You see they're going BC, they're probably going to go pretty heavy in BC. Make sure that you fight tanks properly, get in their face, don't like wander around and do stuff. Make sure that you focus down things that matter, so getting that 4 would have been really, really good. These, the Colossus should have been taking out the workers. Your Stalkers are the only ones that can kill the air, right? It's and you eventually made that decision, but it took you a long time, right? And that's fine, but you also lost on the other side quite a bit with regards to later on. Like, focus down. If those all those Stalkers have been killing those, you'd have been able to stay a little bit longer. Spread out your observers, right? That's not a bad idea. So right now, another base. Increase your production when you can. Immortals, not Colossi, and you've been fine. And then go into Stargate pretty quickly. Again, idle workers. But yeah, no, this is a really, really good game. I really enjoyed it. Both players did some really cool things. Make sure you repair your planetaries, grab your sensor towers a little bit earlier. You have the money for it, might as well do it, right? Supply block, supply block, supply block, supply block. And when you're facing a turtle, you need to either continuously place pressure so they cannot get this more starport stuff up. They can't get bigger than what they are, right? Like this should have gone in. This should be in here, killing that weak BC, killing those banshees immediately. Like that's where you needed to be. You needed to not run over here and do whatever you're doing over here. You ran into the tank over here. That would have been like you could have ended the game here before they got up to 5 PCs. Don't get me wrong, you did a lot of really good stuff, really good things, all that good stuff, but just kind of be aware of what your opponent's doing and all that kind of stuff. Both players didn't spend their money exceptionally well, but, you know, when you're not familiar with how to counter or how to play against a build, I understand. And when you are turtling, you oftentimes want to have a big bank because you don't know when you're going to get shoved back into your 3 base or whatever, so I understand as well. But imagine if this was 12 Hellions and it was a run-by that got in here and killed all these workers, or got in here and killed all these workers, right? That would have been astronomically better than sitting here with 1,200 minerals and not enough gas. Or imagine it's another base, or 2, even, maybe even 3. And you're just securing those locations, right? You put down 1, 2, and 3, make an orbital and 2 planetaries, and now you have another base. You had enough money, or 2 command centers, one there, turrets, and now you have another base very quickly. I understand why you didn't have enough tanks to support it, right? But just like kind of things to think about. This was rough. I do like using the Yamato cannons. That blink away was cute. That was really awesome. I actually didn't know that you could blink away from Yamato cannons and make it happen. So that's something I learned today. But yeah, good games. Thank you all for playing, and I hope you have a good rest of the day.